The boat that never came back. She stood under the old tree every evening, her eyes fixed on the boat gliding across the lake. It had become a ritual, watching in silence as the figure rowed away, never looking back. She never called out. She just waited, hoping that one day he would return to the shore. The lake had always been their place, where they spent long afternoons laughing, dreaming, and making promises under the shade of the ancient tree. She could still picture it, the warmth of his hand in hers, their laughter as they rowed across the gentle waves, the way he'd point out shapes in the clouds as they lay on the grass. Those moments felt so close, yet unbearably distant. But then came that stormy night. He had taken the boat out alone and never returned. They searched for days, but his body was never found. And yet, every evening since, as the sun dipped low, she saw the boat. Always at a distance, always rowing away. Tonight the air felt different, heavier, colder. The boat appeared as it always did, but this time it stopped. The figure inside turned. Her breath caught. It was him. Pale, distant, but him. She took a step forward, heart pounding. "Come back," she whispered. He raised a hand, not to wave, but to beckon. Tears filled her eyes as she stepped into the water, drawn by his silent call. The cold bit at her skin, but she didn't stop. The boat drifted further, and she followed. When the water reached her chest, the boat began to fade. "No," she cried, but her feet wouldn't move back. The last thing she saw was his outstretched hand, before the water pulled her under. The next evening, 2 boats floated across the lake. Neither ever came back to shore.
Created using Powtoon.